much for joining me this evening, and I will be talking about the 7 silent financial battles that women face and how do we win these battles as women. So once again, I want to welcome you to another soul-stirring session on Money Matters with Modupe. As usual, I'm Modupe Vincent. I am your friend, I am your sister, and I'm also your guide on this journey. So today we're diving into this topic that we as women silently struggle with. Some of them are struggles that are caused by us, and some of them we just find ourselves in these financial battles. But whatever it is, or however we came into any of these financial battles which we go through, which are silent, it is important that we as women, we have this talk, we share together, and we try to see get solution to this problem of silent financial battles that we go through. So once again, I want to welcome you. Let me know where you're watching from. Introduce yourself and let us, share together as we start. So, 7 silent financial battles that women face and how to win. Henry Chanta, thank you, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know the country that you're watching from. Drop it or you signify with your flag. So, if you have been overwhelmed by money concerns, you have been overwhelmed with some of the secret financial stress, or even made sacrifices, these are some of the silent financial battles that we go through as women. I want to tell you that you are not alone. I want to tell you that I am also been there. I have experienced some of these financial battles, and that is the reason why I feel that as women we should talk more about this financial battles. So before we go further, once again, this is real talk for we women. You can join us even as men, because this will help you to get a better understanding of what we women go through silently financially. Badon Das, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know the country where you're watching from. Thank you. So, 7 silent financial battles that women face and how we can win these battles as women. So I'm going to go straight into this 7 silent financial battles. You could add more. You could just, share your experience. It's a talk today that I want us to be able to share experiences, and how you have been able to resolve some of the silent financial battles. Oh, Bangladesh, welcome, thank you. How is Bangladesh? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Thank you. So the very first silent financial battles that I noticed and that I know that women go through, number 1 is no personal income or no side hustle. And what do I mean? I simply mean that it means that some women don't have any source of income. And when you don't have a source of income, what it means is that you as a person, you as a woman, you are relying on other people for income. It means that you are either, if you're a married woman, you are relying on your husband, or you are relying on any other member of the family to help you, to sustain you, to help you in the things that you want to do. Or you might be somebody who has a source of income, but you have just one source of income. And like I always say here on Money Matters, that having just one source of income is close to not having any form of income at all. And I'm saying this, why it is a silent financial problem, challenge for women, is because number 1, when you don't have any source of income, you are not able to be confident. You are not able to have your dreams come to life, come to fulfillment. So it's important that as women, number one, we have our own personal income, or even where we have our own personal income, it's important that we just don't rely on that salary. I always say that what happens when the salary is no longer there? What happens when something happens to that source of income? So as women, one of the things, of the challenges that we have, one of the struggles that we have, and it's a financial burden, is a financial problem, is a financial challenge that we have, is that most times some women don't even have any form of income at all. So they rely on others. They are becoming dependent on others. And we're saying that this may not be too good, because if you want anything, if you need to spend money, if you need to, express yourself, you had dreams, you had goals that you want these goals and dreams to come alive, you will need to depend on another person. And what's number one, if the other person is not willing to give you, or if the other person does not even have to give you, what happens to you? So it is a silent financial battle that women pass through. It is a struggle that sometimes we don't even feel like discussing with anybody, not even someone that is close to us. And this evening, I want us to discuss it. If you're a man and you're watching this evening, or you'll be watching later, I want you to understand that these are challenges. These are real challenges, money challenges that women pass through, things that they feel they go through that sometimes they are not even able to express. So a woman not having her own personal income, source of income, is a great challenge, and is something that hurts her silently. Or you have a source of income, but that source of income, you're just relying solely on your salary, and that salary most times is usually not enough to sustain us, talk less of even trying to help other people with it. So how do we handle this challenge, this financial challenge, as women? The first thing is that you need to know that you have to start from somewhere. So let's take the example of the woman who doesn't even have any form of income at all. I'm saying to you this evening that one of the things you can do is to start from somewhere. It may not be the perfect thing that you want. It may not be the perfect source of income that you want, but it's important that you start somewhere. It's important that you acknowledge to yourself that I need to get this, my source of income. I want us to be truthful to ourselves as women, as sisters. I want us to be truthful to ourselves and ask ourselves, what is one challenge, financial challenge, that I'm battling with silently? When we come, to the full realization of this, we're able to speak to ourselves. And I'm saying this evening that you need to start from somewhere. If you are here, you're watching me this evening, and you have just one source of income, it's important for you to know that this is not good enough for me. You should start thinking of other ways by which you can start generating income. You can do something online. We're going to look into that later. But it's important for you to realize that this is not okay, and this is not sufficient for me. Please, my darling sisters, start thinking of what you can do. Start thinking of ways by which you can increase your source of income. So when you have your source of income, when you have multiple sources of income, number one, you have the power of choice. You are able to do the things that you love to do. Number two, you are able to build your own self-confidence because you are not relying on anyone. Number three, you are able to, it gives you capacity to be able to do, capacity to be able to, express yourself in whatever way that you want to express yourself. So that is the very first one, not having a source of income, or where you have a source of income, it is just one, and we're saying that increase that source of income as a woman. So the second financial battle that women go through is that, when you have secret debts and you are ashamed to talk about them. You have secret debt, and that is a silent financial killer. It kills. It doesn't just have to be women alone. Even men, when they have secret debt, they are not able to talk to people about it. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about debt when you owe people, when you owe an organization, when you are not able to, meet your needs because you owe other people. I'm talking about DEBTS, debts. So it's a silent financial killer for women. When you have the debt here, you feel ashamed, and sometimes you feel overwhelmed. Most times when women have these problems, you see us smiling, we smile, but mentally what we're doing is that almost every time we're just calculating, we're seeing how we're going to get through this problem, we're seeing how we're going to go through this challenge. So when you have debts are secret, you're not able to share them because you feel ashamed. You feel that, somebody might judge you, that how come somebody like you, how come you have debts? And so you're not able to talk about them. And sometimes what happens is that some people, when they get this debt, instead of them to confront them, confront these debt issues, you see that they try to compound this problem by taking more loans to cover up this debt. And we're saying that this is not good enough. So on what you can do when you have this problem of silent debts is that, number one, you don't be bothered about what people will say. Don't be affected about what people will say, because what we're doing this evening is that we're trying to look at our realities as women, the silent money problems that we have that is costing us a lot. So don't, because of what somebody else will say, because you will be judged. The feeling of guilt. Sometimes you're like, how did I even get myself into this level of debt? Or sometimes for other people, it could even be pride. They just don't want to talk about it. It's a silent money killer for a lot of women who find themselves in debt. So what I'm going to encourage us to do this evening is that we should stop keeping this as a secret. It's important that we, try to get help. We should try to get help. And how do we go about it? What can we do? The first thing is that we should face this debt. Face what we have. Face it with courage. And then ask yourself certain questions. Number one, you have to be real to yourself. The first thing you can do is that you bring out either your notepad, or if you want to do it, online, you can do it. But you have to ask yourself, number one, who are the people that I owe? And then you have to ask yourself again, how much is it that I owe? How much do I owe? And then you ask yourself, when is this debt due for payment? Because some debts may be have occurred as a result of loans that you got, either because of your mortgages, or because of your you took salary advance at work, or your card, your credit card, you got some things, you made some payments on it. Whatever it is, you just have to be real to yourself. You have to say to yourself, who do I owe? How much do I owe? If you have multiple debts or multiple loans, you have to ask yourself, when is the due date? And then you have to also ask yourself, what is the interest on this debt that I have? See, the truth is that this may be scary. Where you bring out this thing and bring out these figures, it may be scary for you at first. But the truth is that that is your reality as per that time. And the truth is that you need to work over it so that you are able to, help yourself and get away from this silent money killer, which is you accumulating secret debt. So the first thing I said is that you have to face this challenge with courage. And then I said these are the things you must do under that. And then the second thing you must do is that you must create a repayment plan. Because it's not just enough for you to know what you are owing. It's not just enough for you to know who you are owing. The due date is also important, that you have a repayment plan. Ask yourself, how am I going to solve this? How am I going to repay? What am I going to do? And basically, what I tell people is that what you can do is that whoever your creditor is, you can approach your creditor. You can tell them that this is the financial situation that you find yourself. And this is why you cannot be ashamed about your present situation financially. So you approach them, you let them know, and you give them your repayment plan. Some of this debt might be past due. It may be you should have paid off the loan or the debt maybe like 5 months ago, like 3 months ago, and you are not able to. The best thing, rather than hiding away from your creditor, is for you to meet with them and explain your situation with them and give them a plan. And that basically, when it comes to the finance world, there are basically two ways by which you can pay off this loan. Number one, you can either start from the simplest, from the smallest loan, payment of this loan, and that which is known as what you call the snowball. The snowball, it is called the snowball payment form, when you start from the smallest to the highest, depending on the kind of debt that you have. And the second one is what we call the avalanche payment. That one, you start with the one with the highest interest. So it all depends on you. It all depends on what you want to do. But the important thing is that you must, be real about it. Approach your creditor, whoever they may be. It may be the bank, it may be individual. But the good thing is that when you do that, a lot of creditors are willing to negotiate with you. They are willing to negotiate with you. And then the third thing you must do, if you have the silent financial battle, is that you must stop buying unnecessary things. Because at this point, what you are looking at is for you to survive. What you are looking at is for you to be able to come out of that debt that you are in. And if it's possible, it is important that you increase your form of your source of income, so that more income can come in, and you can use that income, extra income that is coming in, to pay off the debt. And another thing I will encourage you, if you find yourself in this kind of situation, is that you ask for help wisely. It's important that you protect your mental health, and if there's somebody that you can speak with, who can guide you, who can help you, who can direct you, it's important that you speak to them wisely. So the third silent financial battles that I know that people also face, that women face. I'm a woman, I'm a certified financial planner, I'm a legal practitioner, and I see people when they come to me and when they speak their minds to me. The third one is when you become too trusting with money, and you pay the price for it. What do I mean by this? When you become too trusting with this, what do I mean? It means that you give people access to your finances. It may be directly or indirectly. And that the repercussion of what you have done is the silent financial battle that you then start facing. How does this happen? It comes in various ways. Number one, how you become, too trusting with money, and then you become you get bad effects from it. Number one, when you co-sign loans for people, and these people never pay back. Somebody wants to get a loan, somebody wants you to stand as a guarantor for him or for her, and then you go ahead and do this. When that person that you are standing for as a guarantor, or you do co-signing for, what happens is that whatever that person fails to repay, then the law brings you in, and then the creditor comes over to you and start making demand for that payment. So that is one financial battle that women go through. And when it comes to money, I say that women are kind of emotional. When it comes to money, women kind of tend to feel, pity, and, they kind of feel somehow, especially when they see people who need money. Somebody comes to meet you, maybe a family, a friend, or even your child comes to meet you and say, please, my credit is not enough. I need you to help me to co-sign so that I can either get a loan, I can get a mortgage, or I can even get to a lease for a car. And then because you have a good heart as a woman, and because you have listened to that person, and your emotion comes in, you now say, you agree that, okay, let me co-sign for you, not knowing whether that person you are co-signing for or you are guaranteeing has good credit. And so when that person fails to pay back, what happens? Creditor comes to you, the bank comes to you, the motor company comes to you, and they make that demand. And what happens? You then have to make that payment. You have to start repaying. And that way, it is a financial battle that you face, that you are going through, and which will also affect your own finances. Another way that you could be a victim of this is when you lend large sums of money to others. Somebody comes to you and say, please, can you please give me a so amount? I will pay you back maybe in a month, or I pay you back in a few weeks. And then because you have it, and because of the goodness of your heart, you decide to give that person, and that person fails to repay you. It has happened to me a couple of times. And my motto now is that any money that I cannot afford to lose, I don't give it out. So if you come to me and ask me, because I live in Lagos, Nigeria, and then you ask me, can you please, I need 100,000 naira from you. Even if I have that 100,000 naira, I think of the possibility that what if he or she is not able to repay me? So my motto now, my principle now is, if I cannot afford to lose that money, if I know that if the person does not pay me back, it's not going to affect me financially, it's not going to affect me mentally, and it's not going to affect my relationship with that person, then I give you what I can give you. So if it's 10,000 naira I can give you out of that money, that is what I will give you. So that is one silent financial battle that we as women will face. So it could be a family, it could be a relation, it could be your spouse who says, please help me with this. So sometimes it's also we giving people our cards, giving them our PIN numbers to our ATM cards. It is a silent money battle that we face. So you may do it, when women do such things, they usually do this from the place of love. They usually do this from the place of trust. They usually do this from the place of loyalty. And women fall victims more than men. And we're saying that, look, it is a silent battle, and it's something that we need to stop. Because one thing that happens when things like that happens is that the relationship will go sour. Because if I give you money and you're not able to repay me, then there's no way the relationship will still be the same. So to avoid such a thing, be careful, guide your mind, and if you're going to give, like I said, be sure that you know what you're doing. Be sure to know what you're doing. So how do you do this? I'll say that as a woman, when you want to give out money, ensure that you take your emotions away from it. You are able to think well. Like I said, a family relation can come, a friend might come, even your spouse, your husband may come. And I want to say this, that love is not a financial strategy. So don't say that, because I love this person, I'll give this person this money. What if the person is not able to pay? So I say to you that love is not a financial strategy. If it's something that you cannot afford to give out, to give up, so that the relationship is not tainted, then leave it alone. And number 2, don't co-sign. Don't co-sign for people, especially if you do not know whether the person is able to pay back or not. Don't stand in as a surety or stand in as a guarantor for people. Because what happens is that when the person is unable to, the law will set in, and what the law says is that you as the person will have to make that payment if that person defaults. So protect as people having access to your money. Don't share your PIN. Set an important that you set transaction alert, so that if anything goes wrong, maybe somebody takes your ATM card or your PIN or something, you are able to get to know on time when you have transaction alerts on your phone. And if you're going into business as well, because this is another way, going into business with somebody, it could be with your sister, it could be with your friend, it could be, with a colleague at work, ensure that you have an agreement, properly documented agreement. About a week ago, I'm going to quickly share this. Somebody came to me who wanted legal help. And what happened was that she had a business with her sister. And they've had this business for about a year and a half. And what happened was that this person that came to me, she was in charge of the operations, the admin and the operations, while her sister was in charge of the finances. And when they were about to do the review, their financial review of the business, half year, I think, it was then that the sister who came to me, who is in charge of the admin and the operations, realized that money was missing. And unfortunately, that money that was missing could not be accounted for. And they decided that, okay, this partnership, this business, we're going to break it up. And I asked her, I said, where is the agreement? Where is the memorandum of understanding that brought the both of you together? And she said there was nothing. So this ended up splitting the business. But I can tell you that their relationship since then has not been the same. So as a woman, please, when it comes to your finances, don't be emotional about it. I know we're coming from a place of loyalty. We're coming from a place of trust. But we need to, separate ourselves from our money. So it's not wrong for you to trust, but it's wrong for you to trust blindly with your finances. So if you're here, you're getting value from our discussion this evening, I want to ask you to please like the video. I want to ask you to please share. And I want to ask you, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. So the fourth money financial battles that women face is any less than you deserve as a woman. Oh, I have been a victim of this. Any less than I deserve. Most times when it comes to women negotiating, we really don't place as much value to our worth as we should be. And that is the advantage that men usually have over we as women. I remember when I was going to start my very first job, that was about 22 years ago, and I had an interview with a bank. I got there after everything, the interview and everything. Then the person who was interviewing me told me that, look, this is the level we're going to place you. You're going to come in, and this is how much you're going to be paid. And for me, because that was the first time I was going to work, I was excited about that amount. I was excited about that level that I was, being brought into the bank. It was later when I got home that my husband asked me that, so what position were you given? How much were you given? How much will you be given? And I told him, and I said, but you have your first degree, you have your master's, and you've had some experience before going into, wanting to take this job. Then he told me that, no, you go back, go and renegotiate and tell them that, because that was the entry level for somebody who was just coming out from school. And I told him, well, that was okay for me and all that. It was later that I realized that I was, putting myself short. And I know that a lot of women also, this is one of the silent financial battles that we face. We earn less than we deserve. We earn less than we deserve. A lot of women work hard. They work even sometimes harder than their male colleagues at work. But you realize that what level they find themselves is usually lower. Either because, I don't know, we don't want to seem like we are greedy. While men can negotiate, and to men, it doesn't seem like they are greedy. We women usually feel that way, that so that they will not see me or look at me as a greedy person, and that we do not negotiate. And that even when it comes to business, whether you are selling products or you are into services, most women tend to sell themselves short And it's a silent financial battle that we face, and it's something that we need to overcome. We need to overcome selling ourselves short. We need to overcome any less than we deserve. Ask yourself, if I am not a woman, if I am a man, and I want to go for this employment, how much do I think I should be getting? What is the market value for this kind of skill? You are into service and the people come to you and, maybe they're trying to price you down. You will just say, okay, so that it will not be like I don't have anything. No. This night, I'm saying as women, it is time for us to realize our worth. But let me say that nobody can actually pay us what we are worth. Nobody can actually pay anybody what we are worth. But we need to realize that, look, if I'm doing a job that a man is doing, and the job, what that man is being paid is what I should be paid. Don't sell yourself short. Don't be underpaid. Do you understand? And then why is this a silent battle? For me, when I give this example of what I went through, I didn't see it as a problem. But later on, when I started having children, I had to leave employment. And then I was out of employment for like 10 years. And then I went back again to the bank. By the time I returned, it was difficult for me to find myself where I ought to be. Because one of the things that did was to look at my last place of employment. What was my level? They saw my level, and it was one of the things that was used, to negotiate when I was going to go back after about 10 years. The 10 years that I was out of work was also used against me. Why it was a silent financial battle for me was I started thinking and reflecting that probably I should have gone back to renegotiate. And then I saw people who were my junior in school, who were now ahead of me and who were now my bosses at work. So it was something that affected me. I felt a little bit, I did not feel comfortable. So I'm saying to you now that please don't make that mistake. Don't because on account that you are a woman, sell yourself short. So how are you going to win this silent financial battle? The first thing that we must do is that you must know your market value. Ask yourself, how much will it, are people in the market, people there, people in, if it's a bank, that industry that you are going into, learn to know what the market value is. How much are they being paid? Or if you are into business, maybe you are into consulting, or you are, ask yourself, if it was a man, how much will this person be charging for this service? So please know what it is, what the market value is. The second thing you can do is that you must build your negotiation confidence. Now I'm very confident. I know that was a mistake that I made back then. Now I'm confident. I'm able to negotiate. So I'm saying that also you have to also build your negotiation confidence. Learn to ask professionally. As women, we need to remove sentiment. We need to remove emotions when it comes to our finances. When it's time for you to ask for a raise at your place of work, learn to ask for that raise. Not because of emotions, but because you know that you deserve it, and because you know that the value you are bringing to that organization, you are bringing value, and that value needs to be rewarded. So another thing you have to do is that you track your results. When you track your results, you are able to say that, look, I've been able to do this. I was, part of a team that did this project. You are able to, build your confidence. So track the things that you're doing. Even if presently you are not, doing what you need to do. If you need to learn to, upgrade your value, to upgrade your skill, or to upgrade your profession, please start doing that. Because for me, one thing that I did, the period when I said I was home, was that I started upgrading myself. That was when I got my certification as a certified financial planner, and I also got some other degrees. So I'm saying that, please, as a woman, know your worth, know your market value, be professional when it comes to you doing business, because these are silent financial battles that we face. Nobody sees us. We're smiling, but these financial, challenges, battles are things that are making us unhappy. They are things that are giving us stress. And we as women have to have the stock, and we as women have to know how to handle and settle this. So I want to hear from you. If you have experienced any of this silent financial battle, please let me read. Say yes, let me read, let me hear from you. Say yes, or you know somebody who has been there. Please let us share together. Let me know. All right, so let us look at the fifth one, the fifth silent financial battles. I said I'll be talking about 7. We're going into the fifth one. The fifth one that I have is that when you feel, you are feeling like it's too late for you to start. Here, I'm directing this talk to my sisters, my ladies, who are 40 years and above, who are 50, who are 60. You feel, oh, it's too late for me to start. Either to start your dream, either to start your financial, life, to start building it. I want to assure you that no, it is not too late. As long as you have the will, as long as you have the passion, as long as you have that dream in the inside of you, then I'm telling you, my sister, it's not too late. It's not too late. I'm going to use myself as an example as well. I have always, like I said, I am a legal practitioner. I'm a lawyer. I have always, from when I was growing up, I had wanted to become a judge. I had wanted to be in the judiciary. And when I was going to do my master's, I did my master's in sentencing, everything that would make me to become a judge. But as things will turn out, I was not able to do that. I had some family constraints. Our second child, when we had our second child, he was diagnosed of autism. So he is on the autism spectrum. And for a long time, we tried to help him. And I couldn't go after my dreams. And our son now is 23 years. And I said to myself about 2 years ago that I still want to fulfill this dream of becoming a judge. And when I became 50, I started working. Before then, I had started working towards it. And when I became 50, that was when my dream of becoming that came to pass. So I can say from my experience that it's never too late. Other people would have given up. Oh, I'm 50. Who will employ me? Who will take me? Who will do this? But that was when my career started. I'm 52 years old now, and I can say with confidence that things for me are getting better. The dreams that I had are things that I'm able to do now. So I'm telling you, my sister, that it's not too late. You are not too old. Whatever it is, I just want to encourage you to start. Start anyhow. Start, if I don't know what it is that you feel that you are too old for to start that business. You feel that you are too old to start putting your financial, your finances in order. I'm telling you, you're not too late. This is the perfect time for you to start. The experiences you have, those either the failures that you had gone through, are things that will propel you and will help you to get to the next level, to achieve those things that you want to achieve. I want to say to you that starting late is better than not starting at all. So if you feel that you are too late, oh, I'm 55, oh, I'm something, you're not too late. I started my YouTube channel when I was around 49. And for me now, it's just getting better. Starting late is better than not starting at all. This is one of the financial, silent financial battles that we face. We wanted to, gain income, to have income of our own. And maybe because of family constraint, we are not able to. I want to tell you this night that you should start. Those things that you have been thinking about, that you have been putting down, this is the best time for you to start. It's never too late for you to start. Begin small. I'll encourage you to be consistent with whatever it is that you are starting. Take those steps and then focus on progress and not perfection. Focus on it, on the progress that you are making every day. When I started this YouTube channel, I started it. I would just maybe be there, leave, be there and leave. And I told myself this year that I'm going to do better. And that is why I had even been giving myself this challenge of showing up every night and speaking. I am not perfect, but I know that I am making progress. I want to encourage you this evening that please start. Make that decision. It's that you want to start saving, you want to start investing. Start with just that small 5,000 naira, 1,000 naira, or if you're wherever you're watching from, maybe it's the rupee, maybe it's the $5, the £5. Please start. Start. So the number 6 silent financial battle that some women face, and I want to direct this point to my sisters, my ladies, who are either separated from their husbands, who are separated from their spouses, from their partners, or my sisters who are, experiencing widowhood. I know this can be a very tough time, especially when it comes to your finances. It will be a very, very tough time. So, the divorce, the separation, or, the loss of a loved one is something that is sudden, especially if it's the loss of a loved one. It's a time that emotionally, financially, everything just seems to be, you just seem to be everywhere. You're not clear, no direction. So I'm saying that at this point, I know that this is one of the most emotional and financial draining situations that any woman can go through. Separation, a divorce. I see it in court every day. When men come and say that, look, I am no longer interested in this woman and I want you to separate us. I want a dissolution of this marriage. I see the pain in the eyes of women who will tell the court and say that, look, I am not ready to divorce this man. I don't want to divorce this man. And you know that if the person says, look, I want a divorce, you cannot force that marriage to continue. And then you ask the women and say, why don't you want, the court to separate you? And you hear things, mainly, those things are, either directly or indirectly, they are related to the finances. Either they tell you, oh, where do I go from here? I cannot leave the house. Where do I go? Who will pay for my rent? Those things are related to the finances. So I know it is an emotional draining period and a financially draining period, whether it is a loss, whether it is death. Why? Because what is the effect? Well, some of the effects are, number one, there is drastic income cuts or no income cut at all. That is where there is a loss and there is no provision by the husband for the woman, and then the woman is not working at all. That is a drastic, that is total loss of income. So it has that terrible effect that, number one, either drastic cut or no income at all. And then the second effect of this is that you become responsible for payment of bills, rent, and then to meet the children's needs alone. It is a silent financial battle that women who experience widowhood or divorce or separation face. They may not come out to tell you, but in my own course of, in my responsibility as a certified financial planner and, the other thing that I do, I've seen the pain that women go through. They now become responsible. Their eyes are now opened to their reality financially. And you see them saying, where do I go from here? I know the death of a loved one, the death of a spouse does not know age. You have some people who are young women in widowhood, or their husbands have, says, I'm no longer doing. And you also have the older women. For the older women, it is much easier because maybe then, you are in your 60s and you know that all you have to do right now is just yourself. But for the younger woman, she has her children to, to face. She has to pay the rent. She has to ensure that her children's needs are met. And that you have also the possibility of people fighting for inheritance. Oh, I've seen that a lot, where the husband's family comes up, especially where it is the death of that husband, come up and then they start fighting with the woman for inheritance, saying that no, this property should go to the family, not you. And then court cases emerge. So these are some of the silent financial battles we go through. And I want to say that we need to be prepared in the event that anything happens as women. I want you to know, if you're experiencing this situation at this time, I want to assure you that rebuilding is possible. You are not alone. And that is why I'm having this conversation with we ladies this evening. So whether you're watching now, whether you'll be watching the replay later, rebuilding is possible. And that is why we are here, to help you to navigate this journey, to put you through. So what are the practical steps for somebody who is experiencing this financial battle? What are the practical steps that you can take? The first thing I will encourage you to do is to take stock of your present reality. What do I have? What are my incomes? Do I have any incomes? Do I have child support for the children? If it's the loss of the husband, is there a will? Was preparation made? Is there an estate? How will the children be taken care of? You just have to take stock. It is a time, I know, yes, you are still grieving. It's a time where financially, emotionally, you are not balanced. But you need to face this reality. And that is why you need somebody who will guide you through. You need to take stock. You need to seek support, either family support or, professional support, but you need support because this is a tough period, it's a tough time, and you need support. Another thing you must do is that you must secure your children's needs, especially when you are young and you still have children, and children who are minors. It depends on your jurisdiction, and where you're watching from, what the law says, if there is a separation, if there is a separation, if there is a divorce, what the law states in that particular place, that is what will be upheld. But I know that as long as you have children who are minors, there will be, the law will ask that provisions be made for these children. So you need to seek what the law says in your particular country or your jurisdiction. I can speak for what is available for me in Nigeria. And then you need to, document everything. You need to start documentation, proper documentation. Documentation, financial documentation, and also legal documentation. It's something that you have to do. You have to, another thing you need to do is, if you're not earning anything at this point, you need to start thinking, how do I make income? How do I make income? And whatever you do will primarily be determined by, your circumstance. What is your circumstance? What you are doing, what you have. And so once again, I want to ask that if you are gaining value, please, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Put on the notification bell so that anytime I post and whenever I'm live, and I want to say that I am live every day. apart from maybe Sundays. Every day by 9 p.m., I'm here to speak on one financial topic or the another. And if there's something that you would want me to speak about, please just drop in the comments. I will read and I will respond. And if it's something that you want us to do, we shall surely do it. So the fifth thing, the fifth silent financial battle that women face is financial abuse in marriage. This is not to everyone, but financial abuse in marriage or in a relationship. Women sticking in marriages that they're experiencing financial abuse, either in the marriage or in the relationship. And how does this show up? When we talk about financial abuse in a relationship, in a marriage, this kind of abuse is very subtle. It is not something that you see, unlike the violence where the person is being beaten, where there is assault. Is easy when you see that the person has a dark eye today, a swollen eye and something. But when it comes to financial abuse, it is something that you do not see. A third party does not see it, but it's happening and that woman is experiencing it. And we're saying that this is a silent financial battle that some women face, and we're saying that you don't have to continue to be in that kind of relationship. So how does it happen? It comes up in different forms. Like I said, it is not usually loud. It is not usually obvious. But this is where it happens to men as well. But this evening we're talking to the women. I'm talking to my sisters. I'm talking to my friends. So it happens where, number one, I'll just list the different forms. This is where the husband or the partner, you have control. You limit, you manipulate the other person, the woman's access to funds, especially where the woman is not earning anything financially. Either because she's taking care of the children, and then you just see, you take that as nothing. People keep saying, what is that woman bringing to the table? So here, the man manipulates the woman. The man controls the woman. Prevents her from having access to money in the relationship or in the marriage. It is one of the most common, silent financial battles that women go through. But it is one of the least being spoken about. And I intend to have a day whereby I will talk about financial abuse in a relationship or in a marriage and how to go about it, how to handle it. So, and sometimes I had even seen a particular situation whereby the woman herself works, but the partner, it was not a marriage situation. It was a relationship between the man and the woman. It wasn't a marital situation, whereby the lady would get her salary, she was working, and the man demanded that salary be handed over to him. And out of that salary, what the man did was to now hand over some amounts to her, like giving her an allowance or giving her pocket money for something that she herself worked for. And she was there for a long time until she cried out and sought for help. And, I made her to understand that, look, this is financial abuse. Sometimes it may even come up if it's a marriage whereby you are kept in the dark. You don't know what income you have as a family. You don't know what assets you have as a family. And you are made to feel as if because you are not contributing, that you are not meant to know anything. You are isolated. And why is this dangerous? Why is it a silent financial barrier that a woman who faces it faces? Number one, it destroys your self-confidence as a woman, whereby you are being treated as a child. You are giving pocket money. You are not able to even express or even talk about anything financial in the relationship or in the home. And another thing is that, it can affect the female children in the house. where it is a marriage, because they see the way, daddy treats mommy, and mommy takes it as the norm, as normal. And then the child would feel that, okay, fine, this is what it is. But the woman is, dying silently. Her self-confidence is totally, destroyed. And like the lady I spoke about, when she spoke to me and we're having a discussion about this, she tried to justify why the man was treating her the way he was treating her. So I want to appeal to you, if you know anyone who is going through this kind of situation, or you yourself are going through this kind of situation, please don't justify it. And don't justify and don't excuse it as well. You have to call it the name that is being called. It is financial abuse. And it's important that you talk to somebody and find a safe space to talk to somebody. And if you have to create a secret plan, please go ahead. I don't support you having separate or secret accounts in a relationship or in a marriage. But where you are encountering financial abuse, it is something that I would say do. Seek for help. Document the abuse. And I want to say that financial abuse is real. Financial abuse is not love. Financial abuse is control. It is control. So I just want to quickly go through the 7 silent financial battles that women face that I've spoken about this evening. Number 1, I say when you don't have your personal income as a woman, or where you have just one source of income, which is your salary. I'm saying that this is dangerous, because that source of income, you can lose it at any time. It's as good as not having a source of income. The second, silent financial battle that I spoke about is having secret debts you are ashamed to talk about, and then this thing is crushing you. It's crushing you as a person, and it's crushing your finances as well. The third silent financial battle that women face, that we're not able to come out to be bold to speak about, is you become too trusting with your money with other people. This is where you co-sign. This is where you lend people money. This is where you stand as surety, as guarantor for people you don't even know well, or people that you don't even know what their credit rating is all about. The fourth silent financial battle that I say that women face is that you earn less than you deserve. So I'm saying to you, my sister, wake up, know your worth, and go for your worth. Either as a business person who is into product and service, or you are working in an organization, ask around, know what they are doing, and be able to ask confidently, professionally, for what you deserve. The fifth one that I talked about is feeling, like it's too late to start. And I said it is not too late to start. It is not over until you win. Remember, I gave my own story, my own situation. Is never too late. And then the sixth one that we spoke about this evening is the fear of starting over again, either after divorce or widowhood. You can start over. It will be painful, it might be difficult, but you can. And don't forget that I'm here rooting for you. If you need encouragement, you need to speak to somebody, you can check the description. You will get my number on how you can reach out to me. I'm here to support you. Even if you're not in Nigeria, I'm here to support you. Yes, and the final one we spoke about is financial abuse in your marriage or in your relationship. Please, if you're going through this, don't justify it. Don't excuse it. Don't forget that financial abuse is not love. Financial abuse is control. So I want to say a very big thank you for staying with me till this time. So please, whatever it is that you are going through, you need to speak out, you need to take steps. Even if you are starting small, but you need to take steps and you need to come out free from those silent financial battles. If you're going through more than one, if you have to start with one, start with one. And so in this community, we're here to help you to navigate your money journey, your financial journey, your journey, your finances as a couple. I speak to women on women achieving financial independence, on women owning their own income. I speak on businesses, on how to save. I speak on investment. I also look at legal tips, money mistakes that women should avoid, men should avoid, preparing yourself financially, preparing yourself, legally, planning for retirement. These are the things that we speak about here in this community on Money Matters with Modupe. Once again, my name is Modupe Vincent. I'm your sister, I'm your friend, and I'm also your guide. I'll continue to root for you, and I'll say to you, be money wise. And until tomorrow, same time, I'll see you at the top. Bye. And don't forget, if there's anything you want me to talk about, please put it in the comments. So see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.